Alright, brothers and sisters, well, we're finally seeing a breakout happen, a true breakout, a strong move by Ethereum and by Bitcoin due to that FOMC meeting happening tomorrow, which we're probably going to see rate cuts happen. As now the odds are at 89%. This could be the start of the move that could take us to a new all-time high, believe it or not, or at least to the mid-ranges. This is what I want to talk about in today's video. Is this the beginning of the move that's going to shock everybody? So with no further ado, let's get into today's video. And as usual, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This show is not financial advice. This show is for entertainment, some education, and hopefully finding God. Now, as I said, Ethereum just broke out of this downtrend. This is a very strong move, especially that we broke out of that 3,200. This was a strong resistance here, and we're seeing now a strong breakout, especially that we close a few 4-hour candles above it, and especially we might also close the daily as well here. This could signal the start of a new trend, and especially this marks this as a bottom on Ethereum and as well on Bitcoin. That 80k level, which was a straight level here on Bitcoin, this could start to mark the bottom on Bitcoin. But there are a few things we would need to look at before we really confirm that this was the bottom on Bitcoin, and we're gonna start to do something like this right now and shift completely the market. Could this be the final pump that finally meme coins and altcoins are gonna finally pump for one last time? This also is very possible. Now, the first thing we want to be looking at is Ethereum, as this is the only coin right now that is outperforming Bitcoin, or the only altcoin that is outperforming Bitcoin. And we can clearly see it here on this downtrend. Eat Bitcoin. We are seeing this downtrend as well getting broken, which means Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Also means that we could see this chart now slowly making its way back up here, which means Ethereum could make as well a new all-time high. So this is the first chart I'm looking at, which looks very bullish. Now that we got the first ETH BTC chart is looking bullish, and we got the ETH USDT as well that looks very bullish as well with this breakout. Now quickly here we can look at where are the resistance levels for Ethereum, especially since we broke down from the 10/10 October crash. Now the first or the next resistance would be probably around 3,500, as it is a psychological level, and we have the 3,658, which is this liquidity level where stop losses and everything is going to be usually markets like to reverse off these points. But the main one is 3,800, and the reason being is because if we take this fib extension from the previous high, 2021 high, to the 2021 low, we can see here that on that dead cat bounce, Ethereum went back to the 0.5, which is this green line here. We see Ethereum did some sort of an ABC, rejected from the 0.5. If we come back now to today and we take this same fib from the previous high or the all-time high to the all-time low here, the fib as well tell us that the next resistance, that 0.5 where Ethereum rejected back in 2021 on the dead cat bounce, was 3,788, or let's say 3,800. So now if we do see Ethereum breaks above 3,800 and start to rally higher, this would confirm that an alt season and the bull market and everything is still intact, and we could see still an alt season going ahead. And there are things that show that we could see that, like the rate cuts, more and more rate cuts are coming, and the QT that's ended, with the money printing that is coming as well. So it's not like it's out of the question at all that we could see another major rally here happen on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. We have the fundamentals for it to start seeing new highs on Ethereum here, but I don't want to get too excited here. We want to wait for this to play out, but so far I'm very happy to see this pump today on Ethereum. I was very happy to see Ethereum pumping, because this usually signals altcoins are going to start to do better, at least something, after the whole November of just going down. And we do have a lot of catalysts as well coming for Ethereum, and we are seeing Tom Lee, which is Michael Saylor for Ethereum. Tom Lee just bought another $400 million worth of Ethereum. He plans to own more than 5% of Ethereum's supply, and today bought again more, and this week he purchased around 130,000 Ethereum since last week, so currently worth 431 million. And Bitmine, which is the company that holds this Ethereum, currently holds $12 billion worth of Ethereum. So they continue to buy, and they still have 1 billion USD left to buy Ethereum as well. There is a lot of catalysts as well coming for Ethereum and altcoins as well. This is the most confusing time to be in crypto right now, and I understand if a lot of people are confused because the market as well is confused. We have a lot of bullish catalysts, we have rate cuts coming, we have money printers coming, but the market is not showing us that. We have not seen any substantial euphoria or pump any since pretty much October top. But today, finally, we're seeing this breakout. That's why I do feel this is different. This pump here is different than any other, especially that we broke this uptrend here, and especially that everybody at the bottom was calling for the bear market, and we're just gonna go straight down, especially clowning people that were calling for maybe I will sell the next dead cat bounce, and people were saying this would never happen, market would just keep going down. So this also, a pump could cause more FOMO back into the market, as people that sold the bottom might jump back in. There is a lot of things that could happen that could get the price to move back up, believe it or not. Now, it's still not the most bullish thing to see, but it is the start of something. For Bitcoin, I do believe we have that 116 or 115k as the major level, with the 109 or 100 straight. So I do believe if we break 100k, it's gonna be that's gonna be your psychological level above 100,000, because you can see now the bottom was marked at 80,000, and if we put a line at 90,000, we were there for a while. So you can see recently here we spent a lot of time. This yellow line here, the mid one, we were around 90k for a while. Bitcoin was really struggling to stay there. We've seen the bears trying to crash it, then we see the bulls coming back at it again, and it just stayed at around 90k. So it just looks like this is the game that is being played right now. 80k, 90k, 100k, maybe 115k would be like your superior resistance here for Bitcoin. But this would mean also Ethereum is close to a new all-time high as well if ETH-BTC continues to rally. Now, when it comes to ETFs, we haven't seen some major inflows yet. We've seen like outflows, inflows, pretty balanced on Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. We're not seeing some major outflows, and we're not seeing some major inflows. But usually with ETFs is that ETFs usually they sell low and they buy high, so they pretty much chase the price. If the price is going down, ETFs sell. If the price is going up, ETFs starts to buy. So it is possible, since we see now this breakout on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, we could start to see ETFs as well ramp up and start to buy more, since they start to follow the price as well. And this is something we did not have in the previous cycle, and we could argue that this is still the main reason why there is still a camp that believes there will be no 4-year cycle, and this is a super cycle, and we're just going to continue grinding higher. And the reason is because of ETFs and institutions and companies buying Ethereum and Bitcoin all the time. So Michael Saylor, Tom Lee, all these people just keep buying. This is something we did not have back in 2021 or 2017. This is very new. So one last thing to look for now is what will happen tomorrow once we see the FOMC meeting and what's going to be said there. If we're going to get rate cuts, which is very possible now, the odds of a rate cut at around 89% is pretty high. And usually what happens with the FOMC meeting is that we see a candle that looks like a wick to the upside, a wick to the downside, and a small body, and usually the market continues higher. So if we're seeing the start of this trend now before the FOMC, even though I was expecting the market to rally way before and prepare for a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, where once we have the FOMC and once we have the rate cuts, we see the drop, but we did not have it until today. So probably the market is sniffing out something big here. And if we look at Bitcoin on the monthly here, we're still holding this uptrend or this monthly uptrend on Bitcoin, which is the last line in the sand that I've been talking about. And we are seeing December continue to be a green month as I expected. And so far, this is not a sign of a true breakdown or the start of a bear market when this chart starts to truly break down on the monthly. This is the last time frame that we have bullish here on Bitcoin, which still gives hope for a bull market, or still gives gives hope for more continuation to the upside and seeing prices going higher. Same thing for Ethereum, as Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. If we look at the monthly candle on Bitcoin and on Ethereum, you can see on Ethereum the December candle is almost halfway to November one, while Bitcoin is not yet there. So Ethereum is clearly outperforming, and this is usually a sign of a rotation, and this is usually something we see at the end of the cycles when we actually start an old season, when we start to see Ethereum outperform Bitcoin. Now if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, probably it will show that it is going down. So Ethereum as well is still holding this monthly uptrend, and more likely than Bitcoin to see Ethereum rally above November's sell-offs, which is around 3,800, 3,900, which also coincides with this high time frame resistance is just right around here. So we were seeing the price reject at around 3,700, let's say, and we had this deviation above it and then back below it, and then likely we come back there. So December is still a very important month, and it is still going. Today is the 9th of December. We still have a lot to go here for December, and a lot can happen in the 20 days that are left of December. So far I'm still holding and waiting for this December to play out. As you can see, we're still just right around the prices we had the whole year for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and unfortunately, altcoins did sell off more than Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they do as well. They don't need as well a lot of capital to start to rally back up. So if there is truly a return of true euphoria again in the market, we could see altcoins truly outperforming. And we need greed again to come back into the market. As you can see, we're still in extreme fear. People are not going to start buying altcoins right now as long as we're in fear. But you can see that Bitcoin and Ethereum both are rallying because this is more of an institutional, higher market cap coins, and as long as those rally, at some point we're gonna hit euphoria again or hit greed at some point. That's what altcoins need. But so far for Ethereum and Bitcoin, we're just right around the prices we were at back in, let's say, March of 2024 and December of 2024 and just recently. So far we're not seeing some real drawdowns here on Ethereum or Bitcoin, and they could still make new all-time highs, believe it or not. So we're not out of the woods yet here. If you are bearish, I do believe we could still see upside. So thank you so much guys for watching today's video till the end. I'll keep you updated. Don't forget to follow me as well on Twitter. I post there every day. Keep you as well updated. You can join my Discord, link in the description. It's free to join. Thank you again for watching today's video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.